Good morning. It's Monday, May 9th. An organization which I have condemned for many, many years has said something that has only strengthened my opinion against it. And I'm talking about the UN. The UN has proved over its lifetime that it really is pretty worthless. Yes, it has a couple of good organizations within it, like the Health Organization perhaps. But when it comes time to really tell the truth and help the world make difficult decisions, it cannot do that. It is a Mickey Mouse organization. It has no authority. So what is the point? What is the point of this great building on 42nd Street in Manhattan? What is the point of that building where all of these representatives gather and do nothing for the rest of the world? And why am I saying this? I am saying this because the UN has issued its first statement on the war in Ukraine. Imagine this thing is going on for 10 weeks and they have finally said something. And what do you think they said? They didn't say it was a war. They didn't say it was a conflict. They didn't say it was an invasion. Instead, they said something like this: we express deep concern regarding the maintenance of peace and security of the Ukraine. Secretary General Antonio Guterres, in seeking a peaceful solution to the dispute. What kind of peaceful solution is he going to come up with? I mean, this was an emergency. People are getting killed, destroyed. Buildings are coming down. Schools are being attacked. Hospitals are being attacked. And he's still deciding how to get a peaceful solution for the dispute. 10 weeks? Man, there should have been an emergency meeting. There should have been action in 2 weeks. What kind of 10 weeks? And there should have been action from the UN when the troops were building up around the Ukraine. But they didn't do a damned thing. And now they come out with talk and do not call it a war or conflict. Nothing. No powerful statement at all. They say something like, the Security Council recalls that all member states have undertaken, under the Charter of the United Nations, the obligation to settle their international disputes by peaceful means. Well, it's too late for peaceful means. They should have gone to Russia and told them that in the first place. Look, they're gathering your troops there. We want a peaceful solution. No, they didn't do a damn thing. And now they're telling them that they should have done this, that, and the other thing. And they refuse to use the word war or invasion or conflict. Now, because Russia has veto power in the Security Council, Russia has stymied all prior bids to adopt a statement on Ukraine. Well, screw their veto power. This is the time to step forward and say, we are going to ignore Russia's veto power because they have taken advantage of the situation. They are refusing to allow us to tell the truth, whatever that truth is. They are refusing to allow us to call this a war. And when reporters asked Mexico's UN ambassador, whose country helped draft this statement without the word war or conflict in it, why? Why did it take 2 months to draft this statement? And all the Mexican UN ambassador could do is say, I support the UN Secretary General. Well, why weren't all of these countries that claim that they want peace in the world, why can't they act faster? This is like the U.S. It takes them forever to do anything. Took them 2 months to issue a statement and didn't call it a war and an outright assault on another democracy or another country. Doesn't even have to be a democracy. It's an assault on another country. It's a war. There's no other word for it. It's a war. It's a conflict. Russia is trying to defeat the Ukraine, trying to make them a slave state. Is that what the UN allows? That's what it takes them 2 months to draft a statement that sucks? That tells you what's going on in this world. This world is not a good place anymore. It's falling apart. And the Mexican ambassador then says this is the very first initial step, but it points us in the right direction. Points you nowhere. You haven't said anything concrete. You haven't threatened Russia in any way, shape, or form. You should have just said, look, if you don't stop, you're out on your ass. We don't need people like you in the UN. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that. And I know the reasons why they didn't do that. Either there's just too many other people that probably think just like they are. So the UN is worthless. Absolutely worthless organization. And every time they open their mouth, they only strengthen my opinion of them. The UN issued a statement that the Security Council spoke for one voice for peace in the Ukraine. Well, their one voice sucked. They didn't threaten Russia. They didn't declare anything. They just made a statement and they wouldn't even use the word war or conflict or invasion. The other thing that the UN did is the 193-member General Assembly adopted 2 non-binding, that's the key sentence, deploring Russia's aggression against Ukraine. So what good is drafting a non-binding resolution? Why isn't there a binding resolution? Why isn't there a threat in there? This non-binding resolution condemned Russia for creating a dire humanitarian situation and demanded that the troops immediately and completely and unconditionally withdraw. Well, we see where that got them. They just got more violent. So I say once again, the UN is worthless. They don't have more muscle. They can't exist anymore. It's just a gathering place for diplomats to come and have a good time. Does the UN pay for any of the security that we provide? No. So the U.S. is paying all kinds of fees to keep the UN in business, and the UN sucks. So that's what I have to say this morning. Bye.